What's up, you guys? Welcome back to another episode. I'm Sam. Sorry.
Yeah, I was like, are you going to introduce yourself for the people? And I'm Taylor. I feel like I haven't been here in this house in like forever because I was in Miami for like the week. So we were separate.
Yeah, we were separate.
So I feel like we have just like things to talk about, things to catch up on because we're not in the same place, even though we've already talked about it.
I know. I just like can't keep my mouth closed. I was saying this because I'm vlogging today too. I was like, guys, I need to be careful with what I say right now on YouTube because I don't know what I'm about to say on the podcast. And like sometimes when I say things once already, I forget where I've said it.
Yeah.
So I don't want I just need to learn to keep my mouth closed until the podcast.
I feel like my content is just like specific things go on specific.
Oh, I'm all over the place. I share every aspect of everything.
Like the details of my personal life aren't on TikTok or Instagram.
Well, yeah, not for sure.
No, but like I feel like on
YouTube?
TikTok you do more like, so this just happened to me, and you'll like say things on TikTok about like things in your life, and it's like I don't do that.
Yeah.
Like my TikTok people,
I just try to talk on every platform.
My TikTok people know nothing about me. No, just kidding. But like my TikTok is more like here's me doing like wellnessy things. I don't know. But anyways, of course like our app is still available for download. Any things, any issues, anything that is less than perfect, just know that this is just version 1 and it will continue to update. I do appreciate, like I got like a few DMs of like very, very like nice feedback. Like no one just being like, this sucks, fuck you. Just being like, hey, like really appreciate it. It's really good. Like I figured you just want like I figured you'd want like honest feedback, like
100%,
and like very, very nice DMs. And I'm like, no, thank you, and I appreciate you being like very, very nice, like being very like.
It's
and I'm
so
not trying
stressful.
to hate on you, like being like this is not like like I get it, like it's the first one, but like I figured you would want to know, and I'm like, yes, I do, and just like thanks for being nice. Because sometimes I'd open long message, I'm like, oh my god, are they like so pissed? And it's like, no, they're just like being supportive. So like nice DMs and like feedback is always supported when it's nice. But just know that like everything will continuously be updated all the freaking time and fixed and made better. But big shout out to those that have downloaded it and subscribed. And even if you don't want to subscribe, if you don't have the money to subscribe, just downloading it, rating it 5 stars, following the app on Instagram does more than support. So you can, of course, just do that as well for $0. And it'll take you like 2 seconds. Just download it and rate it. It would mean the world.
Yeah. I'm really excited, though, that it's finally out because I've just been like so motivated to like work now. Because I feel like I've been at a plateau with like work, with like the motivation to do things. Like last night I posted a reel of my recipe. And I haven't like really posted a recipe on TikTok or like anything in like a few weeks just because I'm like, whatever. Yeah. But then I posted it and then I plugged the app because now all of my recipes are now going onto the app. And each week I'm just going to like, I think I'm going to sit down every Sunday or like maybe Monday and just like refresh all the recipes from like my past week and just like keep adding recipes. Yeah. And it's so exciting that like now I have like a place because I've like you guys know I love to cook and like people always have been like you should come out with a cookbook or like something, and I'm like even like a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, I'm like, oh, that would be sick. But now that I have the app where I can like put all my recipes, like I love it. So girlies, even if you don't even want like the workouts, if you want the recipes, plug in the app.
Yeah, and the progress tracker.
Yeah, progress tracker too.
I feel like the progress tracker is like one of my favorite things about it.
Yeah.
And like worth it.
Yeah.
There's not really like an app on your phone that
can track
your
progress.
There probably is, but I don't really like see people using that. Like I never really hear people talk about apps that do that. So I really like the progress tracker. I've been on a plateau with work too. And I kind of talked about this on my Snapchat last week. I was just like ranting. I get like really, really bad. My psychiatrist told me it was PMDD, which is like, I forget what that stands for, but it's basically when your period and your PMS is like so bad and it makes your mental health like so bad, like worse than like the average. Like obviously everyone gets a little like moody on their period, but it's when it's like really bad. I used to take extra medication for it. Now I don't, yada, yada. You don't care. But like literally like the week of my period, like my period started like right when I went home from Miami and I was Oh my God. Like we had just been talking about like, oh my God, like I don't know the last time I've cried. Like you used to cry all the time and I don't know the last time I've cried. And when I was home, I was like, oh my God, I'm like I'm gonna cry. I didn't. But I almost did. Like I felt like I was just kind of like, oh my God, so like in a work rut and like stress. And then I was getting really stressed out because like my family talks to me about like my work so much, and I get it because it's something like cool and exciting and it's like different. They want to know. They're like, oh my God, you came out with merch. Like, did it go well? Like, oh, the app's like out. Like, did it go well? How many people have used it? And I'm like, I get you care, but it like really, really stresses me out when you're like,
did you talk to them about that?
Yeah, like any new sponsors? Because like no, like right now, like no, like this week, like no, or like yeah, like sometimes I can tell you like yeah, this like went really well, but it's like you don't talk about like my sister's like job, like you know what I mean? Like we don't sit there and ask, like I don't sit there and ask my sister like what happened at her work day, and like if like my brother does like a marketing job, I'm not like getting new clients, you know what I mean? Like we don't sit there and ask and talk about that. Yeah. And I'm like, and I know it's like interesting and cool, but I don't like talking about work all the time. It like stresses me out.
Oh yeah.
To be like sitting there and be like, are you coming out on the merch? Like, oh, did it sell? Like I'm like, I don't know. Like I'm like, I don't know. And like you're stressing me out. Like we don't talk about like if we're with our friends, it's not like I'm like, any sales this week? You know what I mean? Because they're in like sales jobs. You just don't ask that. But because it's like different, people want to ask. But I'm like, if we could not talk about my work like while I'm home, I'd really appreciate it because it literally gives me a panic attack.
Yeah, no, I get that. My parents used to be like that like at the very beginning, but then I think it was because I was so like stern on them, like leave me the fuck alone, like stop asking me
like,
that. Like
don't ask me about
like,
like
leave me alone.
If I have something to share, I'll tell you.
Yeah,
but like let's not, especially with the app, like 'cause then there's like issues right away, and like I would just ask. I'd be like, can you let me know if this works? Oh my God, like why? Like what's going on? I'm like, no, I simply like asked you on your phone if you could tell me if this works. Like you don't need to ask me.
I'm getting stressed like thinking about you having that.
I'm like, can you like stop? Like how many people have downloaded it? I'm like, I don't know. Stop asking me. Like
literally, I'm stressed.
Like I'm on vacation.
Yeah.
Like, so yeah, I was just like so like stressed about work. I feel like my family's gonna listen to this and be like, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Like, but it's whatever. Like it's fine. But I was already like in a place like stressed about work because I know it's normal because it's like I'm 22 years old. Like this is when most people are stressed about work. Like it's not abnormal that I'm like, what am I gonna do for the rest of my life? Like that's like such a normal thing to think. But recently I've just been like so fucking stressed, but
yeah,
whatever. I also know like I'm trying to remind myself like it's literally because my period like kicked me in the ass, and that like next week like I feel the phases of my menstrual cycle so much. Like
I do too. It's
when
crazy.
I'm like down in the fucking dumps, and then like one week I'm like, oh my God, I could take on the world.
Yeah, I'm invincible.
Like, I'm invincible. Like I'm gonna like I'm the most productive, amazing, like beautiful human being I've ever met. And the next week I'm like, you're a worthless piece of shit. Like, yeah. And it's like, and it's so distinct.
Mine's not necessarily like with my period. It's not necessarily like thoughts like that. It's more like body dysmorphia. Like I get super like right now I'm like super like puffy. Like my arms and my upper back get like super puffy during my period. So I just know I'm like, okay, Sam, like you're not wearing any like super strappy tops. Like you're gonna wear more like what I'm wearing right now. Like
yeah,
I prepare myself like physically to feel good.
Yeah,
mine's not like the
like no, like mine is literally mentally. Like you literally like I hate everything. Like to like can't even function to like, oh my God, fun. Like,
yeah,
like, and it's like it's so fucking distinct, and I really hate it, and it sucks. But whatever is what it is. Other than that, I'm trying to think of just like what I've been doing, like fitness wise. I didn't work out when I was home because I didn't want to. Because one, I was on my period, and two, the gym I like
makes the rules. You do.
Yeah. The gym where I like to go to, the week pass is so expensive, and I just like didn't want to pay like $70.
Fuck no.
To work out for the week. I really didn't. No. And like so many people that I know like go to these gyms. Like I didn't want to like see random people. I just didn't want to go. Simple. Didn't want to go. I debated. I was like, I could go to a Barry's class because I have like credits. And then I was like, who do you think you are? You're literally
I did that when I was in Tampa, and I enjoyed it.
I was like, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it, so I'm not going to do it. And it was a great decision. And I came back and I did a bench day yesterday, and I was prepared for my bench to be weak. Because if I like take a week off. It normally takes me a week to like not feel like a weak piece of shit. And my bench was great. So it's like,
Happy for you.
yeah.
I've been loving that V squat machine at Lyft.
You post it all the
I
time.
use it every single leg day. I fucking love it. Now, as you guys know, with like the gym for me, like strength wise, it's been really hard post surgery to get back into things. And I just like don't really feel the need or desire to get back into things in terms of like strength. I'm really just training more for aesthetic. Like that's what I care about the most. And like I've never felt so like good in my own body. So I want to keep it that way.
Yeah.
So like training like more for aesthetic is what I've been doing, like lighter weights, which like even if I wanted to do like super strong, like I can't. So I was just like, I'm like, whatever, like don't get my hopes up that again, I can't like push the weight that I used to do. Like I did pull-ups yesterday, but I had to use a resistance bar or a resistance band. I'm like it's so, I don't know how to explain it, but when I'm doing a pull-up, like my chest just cramps and tightens up. And then like I like collapse into my chest because I'm like, oh, like what the fuck? And I'm like, it's just such an uncomfortable feeling. And I'm like, I know it's only been 3 months, but like, I just want to be able to like do the fun things I used to do, like pull-ups, push-ups, like those things. But I don't know. I'm trying to be more patient.
Yeah, it did like just happen.
Yeah, I know.
It feels like so long
It
ago.
does, though.
But it
like,
wasn't that long ago.
It was
all.
3 months ago and 1 full month, no working out. So like, I've really only been working out for like 2 months. But I'm like, why the fuck can't I do pull-ups yet? Like,
And it wasn't like a small little procedure.
I know. Like I went
full
under.
on, yeah, like you full on had like real surgery. So the fact that you're even like working out at the same intensity, even though it's like less weight, like you're still like making progress back into it.
Yeah.
I'm like, my workouts, like I feel like our goals right now are the exact opposite. Like, I mean, obviously I'm like still trying to like, I still like to like look good and have like train for aesthetics, but I'm like so trying to be very, very strong. Like that's my goal right now, is to just, I always just say like I'm just like trying to be the Hulk. Like I just want to be so strong. I don't really know why. It's just what I feel the most fun doing. So I feel like I might like, I mean, like, because I feel like I might get into powerlifting because that seems like fun. Like, and because you don't have to do anything crazy to do powerlifting. It's not like bodybuilding where you have to give up your life. It's just for fun. Or maybe to like change my split eventually one of these days to like a powerlifting type split just for fun, just to do something different.
Yeah. Might as well.
Like just to do something different and fun. Maybe though, not right now and not for the summer. Like when summer's over, maybe. But yeah, and then obviously y'all know that stuff I'll be posting on the app. I've been tracking the way I've been doing my squat because my squat's been fucking killing it, and I've just kind of been like doing the programming myself, and it's fucking working, and my squat is getting up there. So I've been tracking it in my notes each week for like what I'm doing. I think I'm already like, I have it programmed up to like week 9 in my notes, and when that's done, you can catch a little squat programming on the app what I did because I think I'll hit my goal that I want to for this year fairly soon, and I have all my reps written down so y'all can do it.
I'm very excited because we obviously have our programming that's in the app now, but that was our programming from like a year ago.
Yeah, like almost 2 years ago at
so
this
like
point.
once what we're doing, we're going to be coming out with like a 2.0 version of like moving forward of like the programming, and I feel like it's going to be a little bit different, but it's still going to be like going for like the same results that you want to see. So I'm excited to like keep updating that. You know?
Yeah, that's like what's fun about like the gym for me. Like I'm very excited like keeping track of like my squat programming and know I'm going to like do something with it and like put it out there for people is like fun for me. And it's also been like motivating me when I go to work out because I'm like I have to do this and like try hard because like I'm trying to like I'm being like the guinea pig for you guys. Like I'm like trying to, because obviously like I know what I'm doing in the gym, but I'm not like a powerlifting coach. Like I'm not the most versed in like how to do a squat program to get us like a strong squat. Like I don't coach powerlifting, but I'm like being the experiment and then seeing if it works. And so far I've done quite a good job.
As you should. Let's get it. I'm trying to think what else other than periods, gym. There's not much other than the weekend.
The weekend, yes. Sam had quite the weekend. I had a sober time at home because both my sisters are pregnant, so they can't drink, and my brother was on antibiotics because he just got his wisdom teeth taken out. He couldn't drink, so it was a very sober household. I was like, I have no reason to drink. Everyone here is sober. I'm not gonna get drunk by myself, so I didn't drink on the weekend, and I felt good about it. But I was eating like crap, so and I didn't work out, so
Hey, it's whatever. I mean, honestly, like, I kind of like went into the weekend knowing I was gonna drink, but I did good about like pulling back on that Saturday night,
Yeah.
But this weekend you left on what, Wednesday was it?
Wednesday, yeah.
Yeah. So I literally cannot live alone. Like, it's so hard. Like, I want to talk to a wall. So I'm just texting all my friends all week, like starting on Thursday or even Wednesday, because I went to a friend's house on Wednesday night to watch hockey. And I just was so occupied all weekend. I bought a kiddie pool and I put it in my friend's backyard because we don't have a backyard. Like, we live in a townhome that has a little like community courtyard thing. And I'm not going to be sitting out there tanning. Like, I don't want my neighbors looking down.
So funny.
It would be funny, but
Like,
like,
you could put the kiddie pool in the balcony. There's no sun
we
though.
could. But imagine having to fill that up. Yeah, how are we going to get a
I
hose up
don't
there? So I went to their house on Thursday to go tanning in the backyard. A lot of fun. I vlogged it on TikTok. And then on Friday, it was like the same weather, but I think, I just went to the Avenir that day. So we have like two friends that have like either an apartment pool, or then I have my friends that have a backyard. So I just go to one or the other when I want to tan, which is nice. And then on Friday, I didn't really have the intent of really like going out. The weather here, I don't know how the weather was in Miami, but it was torrential downpouring on Friday night.
Yeah, when I got into Miami, it was like kind of rainy, and then it only rained. It rained Friday morning in Miami.
Yeah,
like,
it was
poured
so
Friday
bad.
morning.
Like, so I went to the bars because there was obviously hockey on all weekend. First game on was at 5. It was a Bruins game. And we went
them
to
Florida Panthers.
Yeah, and then we went you can fuck off. So we went to Little Woodrow's, which is like the one bar on West that plays like all the hockey games, and they have happy hour every single day. So I went there, and at 5 o'clock, it was pitch black because of how dark the clouds were. So like 5 o'clock felt like 10 p.m.
Yeah.
And then I had to go to a pregame from there, and I wasn't planning on drinking, but the Bruins were doing so bad. That game was literally third period. There was like how many goals? Like maybe 4 or 5 goals in the third period. So every time there was a goal, I was taking a shot. I was like, fuck this, left and right. I was pissed. So the third period was still going on when I got to the pregame. So I left the bar and went to the pregame. Pregame was not playing the game. So I had to play the game on like my friend's phone. And I'm sitting in the corner of the pregame while everyone else is socializing, not giving 2 fucks about the Bruins game. And I'm screaming at the fucking phone like, oh my God, like, let's go. And then I kept placing the phone down, like, on the thing, like, to watch the game next to all the alcohol, and then, like, taking shots. I'm like, who wants to take a shot? Let's take a shot. Come on. At that point, I'm toasted. It's like 9 p.m. And I'm like, you know what? They lost. I'm running to Latchkey. So my friend's apartment complex is literally, like, 3 blocks from Latchkey?
Yeah.
Your girl busted ass over to Latchkey, and from there just had a full night. It was so much fun.
Yeah. I was like chilling on Friday. What'd I do? We were watching the game. My brother's a big hockey fan, and I didn't realize how much my family cared. Like, they're actually very invested in the Florida Panthers. Like, my brother's very, very invested. Like, with his girlfriend, and like my dad like is kind of into it. Like, I was like, oh, you guys like really care about this, huh? Like, for the game on Sunday, like my brother like literally bought a TV for it. Like, they're like very invested. And I told my family I've made the decision that I will follow along the sports that I'm supposed to. Because, like, when we'd, like, go watch football and I'd be, like, watching the Patriots with you or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, and my brother's like, yeah, we go watch, like, fucking Patriots games. I'm like, no. I'll try. Like, I'll be the right fan for the right teams. Like, now I will be into it. Because I was just like, I don't care. But now I'm like, no, I actually like sports. Like, it's actually fun to watch. Y'all know I can't play them, but watching them on TV is fun. And then, like, when I was out, like, last weekend, there was a Heat game on. Yeah. And like someone was like kind of
that's one sport and, like, that I don't watch,
but the Heat are like doing really, really, really good right now, like really good. I think they're like Don't
Same
quote
with the
me on this.
Celtics.
Don't quote me on this, but I think the Heat is like the like number one team. Right? I think they have like the number one spot. Don't quote me on that, but I think they are. And I'm like, oh fuck yeah. I'm like, nah, I'm a fucking Heat fan. Like the Heat were like winning. I'm just like talking shit for no reason.
Bandwagon.
I love Heat games.
Bandwagon. But you would never watch like a regular season game.
I went to one like not that long ago. It's regular season right now.
Bandwagon.
It was regular season game. Basketball's regular season right now, is it not?
No, I think it's playoffs.
Oh, well, I don't like everyone in Miami's a Heat fan. Like, duh. Like,
No, yeah, for sure.
but I'm like, I'll be more invested because I realize I like
you
sports.
better be. You better be a ride or die. Every
love-
Miami team from here on out.
Well, no, my family's a Vikings fan.
Oh, okay.
Well, they're Dolphins fans and Vikings fans, but I was like, if the Dolphins are playing the Vikings, who are you rooting for? And they're like, Vikings. And I was like, okay. Because I was like, who's like number one? But they're Dolphins fans. They're not Marlins fans though, because the Marlins like suck. I mean, I guess they would like root for them, but like they're not going to put themselves through. But I like going home, like going to a Heat game. Like a Heat game is like a fun activity. Like I liked going to a Heat game. Heat game's fun.
Yeah, the only sporting events that I enjoy going to are football and hockey, and then baseball when it's like the perfect weather to be going to one of those games. Because like,
Yeah, because
well,
baseball's like
Boston's a little bit different with weather. Because like sometimes like I will sit in the freezing cold at a football game, but I will not sit in the freezing cold at a baseball game.
Yeah, well, baseball's like a social activity because
Yeah.
there's so much downtime. Like you can
Yeah.
chat. You
Yeah.
can like chit chat. You can't
But,
chit chat at
like-
like a hockey game or at like a basketball game. Like it's like there's
Yeah.
shit going on.
Yeah, like a football game, like I would be going there with like 3 layers on me, like a fucking thermal, like a jacket, like a jersey. Like I will do that, but a baseball game, hell fucking no.
Yeah, it's also like how much you care. Like
Yeah,
how much you care.
yeah,
Like
facts.
because if you
We need sports here in this city. It makes
I
me
know
so
that's
sad.
what I was telling them. I was like, Austin really like
I bet you in the next
folded.
few years there will be.
because if. No, I was gonna say if there's Austin sports, I'd probably be a fan. But if like the Spurs were like Austin, like I think I'd still be a Heat fan.
Yeah,
Because I feel like now that I don't live there anymore, it's like I need to carry my like Miami legacy.
I know.
Like I can't just like see. I feel like being like an Austin fan randomly, that's more bandwagon than me being a Heat fan.
Yeah,
Because it's like I'm fucking from there.
Yeah.
Like I've been to the game. Like that's like where I
Yeah.
live.
yeah.
And like if I was like I'm a Spurs fan, like that's like bandwagon. I don't know, but
The thing is with like being like we're obviously in Texas, like Dallas Stars, like I would totally like root for them, but I don't know any of the players. And to me that's like bandwagon like behavior, you know? Like I need to like learn the team, learn everything before I'm
See?
like, go Dallas.
I don't care enough about sports to know players.
Yeah.
I literally know.
The thing is also with the Bruins, a lot of the Bruins players have been on that team for like 10 years.
Also, not to be just annoying, the last names on half these hockey players got me fucked up.
Okay, I will
Got
say
me fucked up.
I don't want to fuck his name up, but Matthew Tkachuk, I think that's his name. He's so fucking hot
There was
on
one.
the Panthers. Oh my god,
Is
he's
he a
so
goalie?
hot. No.
Okay, well I don't know, but there's a goalie that
I
was
looked
like
up his
the
age. He's
second.
25.
There was
my God,
like
I follow him on
the.
Instagram.
There was a guy that my mom's like, he's cute. I was like, oh, he is cute. And my brother's like, he's like the backup
love
goalie.
hockey
And I'm
players,
like,
bro.
oh, but he's cute. Most of them are like kind of ugly.
No, but even if they're like out of uniform, a 6 out of 10. When you put them in that uniform, to me, they're like a 9
Yeah,
out of 10,
that's, like-
10 out of 10.
Most athletes though.
But like, oh my god. And I was like sitting there watching the game with all my guy friends, and I was like, they're so hot. And they're all like, Sam, shut up. I'm
Yeah, they're like,
no,
not
I'm
that-
like,
there was-
they're so
There
hot.
was the one guy like that was cute, but like half the time it's hard to tell because they have so much like
shit on, yeah.
yeah, like it's hard to even
Yeah.
really tell. But like their last names got me so fucked up.
Yeah.
Like, I know like 2 Heat players' names. Like I will not know football. Like I'm just like I just know I will never be that bitch that's like unless I think they're really hot. Like if I think you're really hot, I'll know your name. But like other than that, I will not be knowing your name. Sorry. Or if you're like the best on the team, like I know like on the Heat, like Jimmy Butler is like the best on the team. That's the only reason why I know that. If he was not the best on the team, I have no idea what your name is. Sorry.
I'm trying to find a photo of Matt in his like uniform because it was so hot. This is what he looks like, just from the side.
I don't think he's like.
Oh my God, stop! Like, and then the way he was like biting his mouth guard, I'm like,
oh, the one with the mouth guard in his mouth the whole entire time.
oh, biting it like crazy.
I know who you're talking about.
I think he's doing. Yeah, he's biting it right now.
I know he's not that cute.
Yeah, he is.
I'm like, all you had to say was the one with the mouth guard in his mouth.
Always, and then he kept fucking going after.
There were so many fights. Were you so into it?
Yeah, dude, I was getting so pressed though. I was like, because him and Charlie kept going at it, and I'm like, they really fucking hate each other. Like, what's going on?
Every time there's a fight, I was like, Sam is like, love it.
I love it.
Loving it.
Hockey boys in a fight. Oof.
Yeah.
Turns me on.
I know. I was watching it. I was like, Sam's living for this right now.
Oh, yeah. Anyways, moral of the story is Bruins are out and I'm fucking depressed. I can't even talk about it. I literally texted in our friend group and I go, no one talked to me for 5 business days. I literally like, I'm so happy I was watching it alone because I was screaming at the top of my lungs, like pissed the fuck off. Like I wanted to throw something. I was getting so mad. Wait, I didn't even show you the video of me.
It was. I mean, I can imagine it was a very intense room in
Bro.
the house too. Like it was very, very.
Look
intense.
at this video of me I took of myself.
The tension was up there. The tension was going hard. Is that when we tied it? Yeah. That's when we tied it, or when we
to
won?
go into OT.
That's when we tied it.
Yeah.
I knew you. Yeah. So close too. You had like a minute left.
I know. I was recording. That was like
That's why you were
I trimmed
recording?
it down, but that was like a 2.5 minute long video.
Yeah, my mom was recording every single time the puck, like we were like in like every time the puck was like close to being like scored, like any single time it like went like to the like she was just like recording just in case something happened. But it was a very,
you know what I also love?
Very tense.
Sorry, we're on like a hockey rant right now. But another thing I love about hockey is you can't like those games impossible to get rigged. Like football games, super easy to be like rigged or like any of that shit. And like
how? What do you mean?
With like plays and like all that. Like hockey, like it's very hard to like rig a hockey game. Because like there's always theories that people like. Or not people, but there's always theories that like
people think
the NFL is like
rigged.
But like to be fair, I can definitely see that being like the case, like the Deflategate and like plays and like ref calls. Yeah, I don't know.
But people think everything is. But like I don't know.
I guess I don't know.
I just would like
who do we fucking know?
I would just like to believe
this planet is a fucking ripoff.
So true. I would just like to believe like the fun in things.
Yeah, there is fun in things, but also people do a lot of shady shit for money.
Yeah. Well, then there's like the rigged in sense of like
bad calls.
Yeah,
but like there's barely that in hockey, I feel.
Yeah, my brother was kind of pissed at.
Yeah, well, that's just sometimes it's just like refs like there was like a few like cross check things or like I don't know, but
yeah. But I would like to believe things are just fun.
Yeah.
But like it would make sense that it's rigged. I mean, we're talking like a lot of money on the line for fucking sports that I could see how things are planned with that amount of money on the line. But I don't know. I guess we'll never know.
Yeah.
Other than that, I went home for my sister's gender reveal, which is so fun. She's having a boy. I vlogged it for YouTube, like made a little like montage, and it was so fun to be home with my fam. Went to the beach, tanned.
I went to my first crawfish boil. I never even told you about that.
Yeah, did you eat it?
I did.
Was it good?
Bro, we were kind of pissed, so we showed up there to the house at like 12 or like 1ish. We didn't eat crawfish until like 5. So like
you didn't eat lunch?
No, I was expecting that to be my lunch. I was like, luckily there was like charcuterie boards and like appetizers and shit that were out, but like all of us friends were like sitting because there was like a bunch of different friend groups. There was probably like 20 to 30 people there. And we're all sitting there. We're like, where the fuck is the crawfish? Like, I'm starving. And I'm like, I'm so hungry. And then the crawfish comes out. Like, no offense to like all my southern gals out there listening to this. Like, crawfish is not that fucking good.
Was it not good?
No. Like, I was
maybe
like,
they didn't make it good.
No, well, you can't really fuck it up, I feel like. It was just like the amount of meat that is in like a crawfish. I'm like, you're telling me I had to do all this work to open up this fucking crawfish
For a bite?
just for not even a bite of fish. Like, it's so minuscule. I'm like, I would rather like a massive lobster in front of me right now, and I can just
Right.
eat a massive lobster, or like clams and like oysters and shit like that. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, that's just not my type of like fish boil.
I just
prefer.
wonder, like, do people really do it for like the food, or is it like for the social gathering?
I don't know. It's a good question.
Well, there's a restaurant
'Cause
that
they-
people go to where you get it in the bag.
So everyone that was there is from Texas, because everyone went to Texas State together. So I was like me and a few people were like outcasts, and everyone was hyping it up, saying like how awesome. And I was like, bruh, I was like, lobster, no offense, is so much better. Like, I don't know what any of you are saying right now. Like,
It's just probably because it's like
Yeah.
just a difference in like what people grew
Yeah.
up on. Like if you grew up on it, you like it.
Yeah.
And that's just like you have your like biases.
I know, yeah. But I mean, like, to be fair, like the aspect of it was cool, like just throwing it all on the table and everyone standing around,
Right.
like doing that. Like, that was good.
That's why I feel like I'm like, is it like really good because it tastes so good, or is it really good because it's like the whole like it's like the whole thing is
Yeah.
like an activity.
Yeah, so that was eventful, which I didn't even realize. Like, you know, when you go into a day of like not really knowing plans, and that was my day that day. Like, I had no idea like how long we were going to be at the crawfish boil, if you were going to be leaving after like a few hours, then going out after. So I get there. Well, we're on our Uber ride there, and I'm just like throwing back like shots of whiskey. Of like, my guy friend bought this handle of peach whiskey. It was so good.
I really enjoy flavored whiskey.
It's so good. Like the peanut butter one, the screwball one, so good.
like I realized if I'm going to do a shot of straight alcohol,
Whiskey.
flavored whiskey goes down.
It goes down so easy. So that's like my new fave thing is the peach whiskey, especially in the summer. Like, it was
Oh my God,
so
so
good.
southern, like a little southern belle. A little
Yeah,
peach
like
whiskey.
I was wearing my cowboy boots, a nice like denim on denim outfit. I was chugging back whiskey, peach whiskey.
Yeah.
And it was really good. But then by the time we got there, like, so the Uber ride was like 25 minutes, and because it was really south, and oh my God, like we were all feeling ourselves from that whiskey. We got out of the car and we're all like, oh my God, like we're definitely too drunk for this crawfish boil. Like, this is bad. So I started to like sober up a little bit by the time the food came, and then I was like, I maintained a drunk all day, and then I get home, I left all the like our friends. I was like, guys, I need to go home for a little bit if we're going out after this. Like, I need to go regroup, go home, make dinner, and like figure it out. And like we already had like everyone else that was at the Avenir for that pool party, and I was like, oh, I'm going out. But then I sat there after having dinner. I was like, you know what, Sam, stay in. Like, self-control, stay
I was proud of you
in.
for that.
Don't go out. You got a crazy weekend next weekend ahead of you. And also, my sneaky link wasn't in town this weekend, so I'm like,
so go out for what?
I'm like, what am I going out for? Like,
for nothing.
for nothing. Like, I have no entertainment like ahead of me. Like, yeah, I'm gonna stay in. So I stayed in, and I felt so good the next morning when I stayed in. I was so happy.
I
so
saw
proud
your
of
story
myself.
and I was like,
Yeah,
good move.
Yeah,
good move.
good fucking move.
Yeah, like I was like, that was smart.
yeah.
Good for you.
So, which speaking of that, I feel like I need to fill everyone in on my like sneaky link situation because
Yeah, I filled. My sister was curious, so I filled her in.
Yeah. So
She was like, "Let me see who's Sam Sneaky Link."
I know. So, also, first of all, y'all are so funny. Every single time I even bring like one more little hint of a detail onto the podcast about the sneaky link, y'all like swarm to like the social medias and like try to figure out who it is, and you're never gonna figure it out. But yeah, he wasn't here this past weekend. He was at a wedding, and I was like, you know what? Like, this is the weekend where I'm gonna like see if I actually like maybe miss him or not, or like also talk about him to my friends when he's not around, because it's so hard to talk about him because he's always there. Like, I can't ask one of my friends for advice if he's also in the room.
Yeah.
So I took full advantage of it, and like all my friends were like, you know what? Like, we don't really want to get involved, but like my advice is just like, see where things go, like play it by ear, like whatever. And I'm like, okay, fine, full sends. Like, and I also heard like a little bit of more like small little details that I'm not gonna share on here because, you know, I don't want to share too much, oversharing. But basically, my plans going into like the next few weeks is just like continue to like pursue things with him. He's definitely definition of my situationship.
Yeah,
like,
situationship.
Like
for sure.
situationship for show. So, and I haven't been in one of these in like, I think 3 years. So
Yeah.
It's definitely something that I don't fucking enjoy, but it's fun.
Yeah.
It's toxic, but it's fun.
But it's like, it's so, because it's like obviously like mine turned into like a full on boyfriend, but like for that period of time where it's like,
Oh,
what's going on?
Oh, what's the audio? But it's like, oh, what's going on?
Like, that's like not fun. Because then it's like, it's just so like, do I text him now? Like, do I say this? Like, how do you say like hello and goodbye? Like, are we kissing hello and goodbye? Like, no, we're not doing that. It's like, it's just so like what is going on in that like weird middle of like,
yeah,
like, can I do this without you? Like, wait, like, can I flirt with other people? Like, can I like kiss a dude? Like, what's the deal?
So I think this weekend, like, I'm gonna test the waters with like giving another guy attention in front of him, like a random guy, like not one of our friends, but like giving a random guy
don't homie hop.
attention. Yeah, I'm not homie hopping, but I'm gonna give a random guy attention in front of him and see how he like reacts to it.
Because I'll do that too. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, because I feel like that would be like a good like way to see like if he gives a fuck or not.
I'm kind of bored. Maybe I'll like start a fight.
Yeah. Do you want to fight?
In my relationship?
No, me and you.
No, I meant like I'll start a fight in my relationship.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, do it. Let's do it. Should
Because when you're in a relationship, it's like I don't know how he like
reacts to fights.
Yeah. So it's
okay,
like maybe
let's. Oh my god, I have an idea.
Pick a fight.
Oh my god, I'll go up to him and be like, I heard you like or I don't know what I'll do, but I'll say something to stir
but he
the
went out
pot.
and didn't tell me.
Yeah. I'll be like, that's kind of fucked up of you. And then he'll be like, wait, what?
And then at the end of the week, I'm like, guys, we broke up. It backfired. I fucked up.
The plan did not go as planned.
I fucked up.
I'm single now.
It was just a joke, and I fucked up.
I lost him. He doesn't like my jokes.
I took it too far.
No, but honestly, like,
no, but it's so. It's like, oh my god, like, we were actually talking about that yesterday. I was like, I wonder, like I can't picture me being like really mad at you. He was like, eventually. I was like, I just can't imagine you like pissing me off. He's like, yeah, I will. And I was like, yeah, obviously. I just like really don't know like what you would do, and that's so interesting. And it's like not fun, but it's fun. I'm just like, well, I'm so curious. Like, what the fuck are you gonna do one day to like really piss me off? But we'll see. Maybe I'll pick a fight for no reason. He's gonna listen to this. He's gonna be like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
he's gonna be like,
hopefully he doesn't listen to this.
He's gonna be like, you're insane.
No boys allowed.
But
let's get into the episode, right?
Get into the episode.
All right. So as you guys know, actually, we didn't even mention it at the beginning of the episode what the topic was this week. But
y'all can read. You read the title.
Y'all can fucking read, okay?
Y'all can fucking read.
Yeah, come on now. But yeah, basically, we're gonna be going through how to create a workout and structure it properly.
Yes, we did this back in the OG days in the start of our podcast. It's literally like one of our like, it's like within the first 10 episodes.
Yeah.
And it was one of our best when it came out. So we thought how to set up a workout. And then of course, another plug, if you want to not listen to this and disregard all of this information and have every single workout set up for you, you can just use our app.
Yeah. Perfect.
You can click out now. Don't even pay attention to a word we're saying and have us do it for you.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about like progressive overload, anything.
Don't
we
even
got
worry.
You covered.
Yeah.
Anyways, let's get straight into it. So, obviously, step 1, get to the fucking gym.
Get to the fucking gym and do something.
Yeah.
Even if it's like all of this information, like this is obviously like, this is most like basic, quote unquote, optimal way to do it.
Yeah.
Like, as you see people get more like knowledgeable, you can switch it up. Like, dude, people have their things they do for different reasons that they like do all these crazy. But this is like the most basic. But even this, like, you don't even have to, right? Because you just want to do something.
Mm-hmm. So,
Get
also
there.
a lot of these things that we don't really do as much anymore, but they are like important to like incorporate into this routine. First one is gonna be like, when you get there, walking on a treadmill for like 5 to 10 minutes to get your blood flowing, especially if you live somewhere that's a colder climate. If you have been sitting all day, it's really important to make sure you are moving your body to get that blood flow for your workout. You do not want to jump right into a workout. really big chances of injury with that. So 5 to 10 minutes, you don't need to go on an incline. You can go on an incline if you want. You can do it slow, fast. Like, it really doesn't fucking matter. It's not that overcomplicated. And then number 2 is going to be, you're going to work your way into mobility work. You want to make sure you're not doing any static stretching.
Yeah, so don't stand there and touch your toes, but you can go repeatedly kind of like up and down touching your toes. Don't like sit there and like hold a lunge for a long time, but sit in a lunge, like moving your torso, like lunging back and forth, like kind of those
like
differences.
Opening of the gates, the world's greatest stretch. Dead hangs are awesome. I love doing dead hangs before my workout. And then just like anything where you're constantly moving your body. You don't want to be quote for quote static with your stretching, because you want to save that for the end of the workout. You don't want to overstretch yourself.
Yeah, you want to get everything nice and loose. So like you don't want to be like forcing static stretching, because that's like you can actually hurt yourself. Like you want to be warm before you static stretch. Like you don't want to just be like going straight for holding deep stretches while you're not warmed up yet. That should be something you do when you're warm, because that you can hurt yourself doing that. So you want to get all nice and loose and open before you start your lift. Exactly. And you can also, if you're going to be warming up, some people use machines to warm up.
Yeah, that was number 3, like warming up with exercises or resistance bands.
I don't really warm up on machines. Sometimes I toy with the idea of it, but we work out at a smaller gym that like there's not like 5 abductor machines. You know what I mean? If you're at like an LA Fitness, there might be like a million fly machines. You can get one to warm up on it, but there's not that many machines.
I like to warm up with, like, say it's back day and I'm going straight into lat pull downs. I will do like 3 warm up sets at lat pull downs. Like I won't jump right into my working set of lat pull downs. Like, and I do like literally like 15 to 20 reps, like really high, really low weight, just to get the blood flow and get like the mind to muscle connection going before I actually like work into anything. But that's like with everything.
Yeah, I do most of my exercises. I do a warm-up set for the first like 2 exercises. I do a warm-up set. But yeah, warming up on machines is also an option. Did you just get a cramp?
Yeah, I'm cramping.
See, that's what happens when you don't do your mobility, folks.
Ow. Oh my God, that was so painful. Fuck. Anyways.
And then you're going to go into your strongest, heaviest, most important thing, whatever you deem most important. If it's like a leg day and your main things are like squats and lunges. If like lunges are more important to you, you do lunges first. If like squats you're doing like whatever is most important to you. Like for me, it's like squats are my most heavy thing. I'm going to start with squats. I'm not going to start with like Bulgarians. And for me, it's like I don't even care if like a bench is open where I can do Bulgarians, but the squat rack isn't. I will do I will wait for the squat rack. I can't do something else first.
No, I'm the same exact way.
Because if I'm trying to progressively overload on bench, on squat, on my like heavy RDLs that I do, whatever your main thing is, you're gonna exert so much energy. Doing an exercise first versus doing it second is the difference of like 20-30 pounds. Like if I squatted after I did Bulgarians, no chance I do the same numbers. No. It's just not happening.
Yeah.
And that's with anything. If I shoulder pressed and then benched, no, it's not gonna happen.
Yeah, I'm the same exact way. And honestly, like, I don't really do, like, my squats or deadlifts anymore. Right. But even still with, like, certain things, like...
You still have the heaviest thing that you do.
Yeah, exactly. So make sure you're doing all those first. And I don't know if you already mentioned this, but we always choose with our compound lifts, like, 2 to 3 exercises.
Yeah, 2 to 3 or else... this is for, like, your main compounds, because we'll talk about accessories after this. But compounds are things that use more than one muscle group. So... You can do a lot of necessarily compound movements because they use more than one muscle group. But like your main heaviest compounds are what we're referring to, which is typically for a lot of people like your squat, bench, deadlift. But if you're not doing that, it could be a shoulder press. It could be like any variation of a squat, any variation of a lunge, any variation of a deadlift.
And then number 5, which I don't even know why I'm saying number 5. But anyway, next you're going to want to work your way into like your like not like isolation, but like single arm, single leg things. which can be incorporated within your compounds or within your accessories. Taylor likes to do a lot of compounds on leg day, which are single leg. I guess I do too. Like I like to do like reverse lunges, like Bulgarians, like those heavy things. But it is important to make sure you are incorporating single leg, single arm things, just to really like narrow down on like single leg strength.
Yeah, when you're doing your accessories. So basically, like, for example, if like your first main compound is a squat, let's say you also do a goblet squat in your workout. Yes, that's still a compound, right? Because it's a squat, which is using more muscle groups. But because it's like your third exercise, you're doing it lighter. It's way more of just an accessory movement. It's not the most important. You're just doing it to kind of give more focus to your quads. You're using it as an accessory to get better at everything else, to focus on your hypertrophy, things like that. And then you might also do like a single leg RDL. For my upper body days, a lot of my single arm movements are things, I'm trying to explain this correctly, like without visual, it's hard to get like the words right. Something like a dumbbell shoulder press, that is like single arm because you have a weight in each arm, if that is making sense. Like if you're pressing a barbell with both arms, like you're doing an overhead press with a barbell, one arm could take over and getting the barbell up because you're holding one weight.
But if you're with my shoulder presses.
But if you're holding two dumbbells, each arm is moving one dumbbell. Your right arm can't be taking over to lift a left dumbbell.
Yeah.
That can't happen. So those are still like unilateral movements because you have the weight separately in each hand. Whereas like a lat pull down, one arm could take over and bringing the weight down, but not when the weight is in different hands. So also keep that in mind as well, that you don't necessarily need to do like one arm at a time, but you can hold weight in two hands.
Yeah. And then you're going to want to do anywhere from like 2 to 4 accessories.
Yes.
Again, this will completely depend on how many compounds you're doing, what kind of workout it is. Leg day, I can walk into the gym and do 4 or 5 total exercises. So it really just depends on like your preference and how you want to set up your workout. But it is important, 2 to 4, really no more than that. You don't need it.
Yeah. And that's pretty basic. And then for upper body days, it also depends, because like let's say you do push day, that's 3 muscle groups. So you're probably going to be pushing more than 6 because you're doing like at least 2 exercises per muscle group. That puts you at 6, and then you might want to do a little bit more. And your upper body, it's easier to do things. You're not destroying your whole body. Like heavy Bulgarian split squats are going to totally take more energy than lateral raises, and that's just how it is.
And then we work our way into our isolations.
Yes, this is like 1 to 2, nothing crazy. These are things using literally one muscle group. If you're doing upper body, a lot of your accessories are going to be isolations: bicep curl, tricep push down, lateral raise. They're one muscle group exercises. But when we're talking about like a leg day, this is when you're doing your cable kickbacks, your hamstring curls, your leg extension, your abductors, things like that are very, very much just one muscle group. You're kind of bringing something to failure when you're doing these, really burning it out, calf raises even. But yeah, like I said, on upper body days, pretty much all of your accessories, most of them will be isolations, just because you're like working the one muscle group with most arm things. But yeah, you want to just like burn it out, one muscle group, and that's going to really get you a nice pump. It's going to get you pumped up, huge.
Yeah, so that's pretty much your entire workout, like starting with your compounds, working your way into accessories, and then working your way into your isolations to finish off. When it comes to a workout, upper body days can be, at least for me, like a lot shorter. Leg days like are a little bit over an hour. It's just like what you prefer. Like I could back days be in the gym for an hour and a half just because I love back days and I could run around doing everything. But there's no need to be in the gym for longer than an hour and a half lifting.
Yeah. I've been wanting to like take more time and like work out a little bit longer, just to like, I don't know. Like, cause sometimes I'm like, oh my God, like 45 minutes and I'm done. I'm like, maybe like shoot for like hour 15.
Yeah.
Like try to be like actually working for a little longer. Sometimes it's hard. I don't wear an Apple Watch anymore. So I'm kind of like at a total loss for knowing what time it is. I have no idea how long I've been in there, and it's always shorter than I think. But I kind of want to work out for a little longer. We'll see. That's also just because like if I'm like doing a heavy squat day or a heavy bench day, it's gonna take a long time. Like if you're doing like really, really heavy compounds for strength, it takes a while being in there. And I'm trying to like remind myself when I'm squatting like to rest longer. Like if I'm doing sets of 2 reps, like to fucking sit down and like take a second. And like power lifters, I literally sit there for like 10 minutes. I'm like, rest, like don't rush through this. Like if you're trying to do heavy singles, like you need to fucking sit down. So I'm trying to like take my time a little bit more, but there's no reason to be moving weight for 3 hours. Literally no reason. At that point you're not doing anything. There's no way you're doing anything like beneficial.
Yeah, I don't think I could get my body to physically do that if I was like busting like 100% the entire time.
Also, the only people that do that are fitness influencers because other people have lives.
Yeah.
Like
they don't have anything else to do other than
no
go to
one
the
with a
gym.
life is lifting weights for 3 hours.
Yeah. And then so we want to go kind of into like rest periods / like meanings on certain things, because
like,
I know that can be kind of confusing for newbies.
Yeah.
But supersets, drop sets, and pyramid sets, there are different types of sets when it comes to your workout. And then you'll also see, like, if you look at an Instagram post of like someone that types like 4 times 10, you're probably like, what the fuck is that? Sets go first. So 4 is for sets, and then 10 would be for reps. So you're going to do 4 full sets of 10 reps, which is a 4 by 10.
Yeah. And some people in the beginning, it's funny when you're a beginner, when you're like kind of a more quote unquote advanced person talking to a beginner person, not realizing what's confusing and what's not. And when I'd work out with some of my friends that I'd never really lifted, she'd be like, okay, so 40. And I'm like, no. And she's like, but what's the difference? Why can't I just do 40? I'm like, well, no. I'm like, 40 straight reps is not the same as 4 sets of 10.
Yeah.
And that's something that I'm like, okay, like I guess like I know that, but I guess that would like 4 sets of 10, that is 40 reps. Like why not do 40 reps? No, not the same. It is 10 reps, take a long break, 10 reps, take a long break. Like, and it's just little things like that that you don't realize. It's like a question people have.
Yeah, same
but
with
it was
like the meaning of DB and BB on
Yeah.
things. People are like, what's DB? I'm like, dumbbell. What's
Yeah.
BB?
barbell.
Barbell. So like there's a big difference when like because in a workout when you write in the caption like RDL, like I like to like be specific in the caption of like dumbbell RDL, because there's a big difference between dumbbell RDL and barbell RDL. Like, so when you see that, people aren't going to type out the whole dumbbell. They're going to just write DB.
Yeah. And for the sets and reps, like it bothers me like no other when people write it opposite.
Backwards. I know.
That's wrong.
I know.
Like, and I don't care. Like,
It's so confusing.
it's so confusing. Sets are first, especially on our app. Sets are always first if you were confused. And then supersets. Supersets is one thing and then another thing back to back. So let's say you supersetted shoulder press with lateral raise, 4 sets of 10. That'd be 10 shoulder press, 10 lateral raise, rest. And you do it 4 times. Right into another, literally, if you're taking a break, it's like 5 seconds. Like it's like the amount of time it takes you to grab the next weight. And that is good for just like really exhausting your muscles. Also just good for time saving if you don't have that much time, if you're working out with a friend, to make things more interesting. There's loads of reasons why you would do a superset.
yeah.
Sometimes it's literally just because it's more fun.
And like drop sets too. I do drop sets like
Almost all the time.
in
Yeah.
my workouts. Like drop sets are so fun. Like they feel so good. Like you
Especially
burn
on
the
cables,
fuck out. Yeah,
because
cables
you can switch the
and
weight.
lat raises.
You can
like
switch the weight so easy.
Yeah.
Like if you're doing a drop set on like a barbell squat, you have to like unload the plates. That's like hard and
hell
unrealistic.
no.
But if you're doing a drop set where it's very, very easy to fix the weight, that's super easy. So a drop set is basically manipulating failure. Because let's say you go to failure on a lateral raise with 15-pound dumbbells in your hand. You go to failure. Your body's not technically there at ultimate failure because you could pick up 5 pounds and do more. So you're kind of like pushing your body past failure in drop sets. So you're taking one weight, going for whatever set amount of reps, right? Exhausting yourself, and then going for less weight, like drop the weight in half and then cranking out even more reps. And that is such like an efficient way to train. I feel like that's literally the best way to train.
I
personally
agree. And then there's also the pyramid sets, which I know can be like really confusing for some people, but I personally love pyramid sets and something like a hip thrust.
Yeah, I feel like I unintentionally do a lot of maybe not necessarily
Anything
pyramids.
Plates.
Yeah, maybe not necessarily pyramids, because pyramids, at least the way I always thought about it, because pyramids, it's like going up and then going back down. So like, let's say you were doing a hip thrust pyramid set. It's like if you went 135, 185, 225, and then again, 185, 135. So working your way up, working your way back down. If you're on YouTube, you can look at what I'm doing. It's literally a triangle, working your way up and working your way back down like a pyramid. Get it? But yeah, that's like easy with plates because it's like you're loading it.
And then you have to deload it.
And then
so it's
you
like you might as well.
So you might as well do it because you're kind of doing it anyway. And then sometimes I unintentionally do it because like maybe I won't go back down, but I'll work up. And that's when you hear people say top set. Like, what was your top set? That's the heaviest thing you did. So a lot of the times I'm not intentionally doing like a set pyramid, but I will do something like work my way up to my heaviest set and then do a back down set. So it might not be a perfect follow the weights in a specific order, but it follows the idea of get progressively heavier to the heaviest thing you're doing and then do a set lighter, which is just, it's nice to work way up, do something your ultimate heaviest, and then it's like, okay, you just burnt yourself out, so you can't do that again because you just went crazy, drop the weight, keep going. But yeah, hip thrusts are like the number one thing I do that on. I would agree.
Yeah, that's pretty much it, to be honest.
Yeah.
Sometimes on like an other compound, but not really. And then your rest periods with your workouts. This is the last thing. People stress so much out about like rest time. Like
so
people get like
much.
so crazy like into it. I'm like, it's not that deep as long as you're not like literally like running around the gym and like wasting so much time and like scrolling on your phone like for like 10 minutes between like fucking sets. Like it's not that deep in my opinion. Like as long as you're resting, like my accessories, I'll rest for literally 30 seconds and get right back into it.
I feel like it's also like trust your body. Like sometimes I can feel like when I'm ready.
Yeah. And then for like your compounds, obviously you're going to need a little bit longer. Like if you're going really heavy, like 2 minutes is like a great time in my opinion. Like if I'm going like, especially with bench, like I get fatigued with bench really easily. So like giving myself like 2 minutes between my like really heavy sets, like that's fine. But like you don't need 2 minutes between your accessories.
Yeah. If you're doing really, really heavy squats, really heavy deadlifts, really heavy bench, that kind of stuff, like you can literally rest anywhere from like 2 to 5 minutes. Like if you're repping out like 3 sets of like heavy singles, like almost your max, like you are going to need to rest. And that's why you see like power lifters sitting there like eating candy, like taking breaks, because that takes a lot out of you. But there is no reason for a 2-minute rest for a lateral raise. No, you just don't need to be doing that. As long as you are not skipping rest, because then you're not going to be going as heavy as you can. You'd rather get quality reps in than rush through things. And as long as you're not taking an absurd amount of time in between things, it's really like, it's not that serious. Like, you don't need to be like between every single rep, like looking at the exact time it hits 30 seconds and keep going. Like you kind of like get the feeling of what feels right and when your body is ready to go. I feel like take a breather, sip of water, chill, breathe again. And you just kind of, oh my God, I can't stop yawning. Someone commented, they're like, you made me yawn so many times watching the last YouTube video. Because like,
You kept yawning?
yes, oh my God, I couldn't stop. But on the YouTube video, you can see it. Like, you can't really hear it.
God.
But like on the YouTube video, you can see it. And I was like, oh my God, like I literally couldn't stop. Like I was like, I don't know, it was like chronic. But yeah, for rest, like it's so like, I get that question all the time. Like, how long do you rest? I'm like, you are focusing on the wrong things.
Yeah.
So many people focus on the wrong things. What's it called? Like when people say like majoring in minor things. That's like the saying. Like you don't need to major in minor things. My bathroom's a mess, sorry. But focusing on rest periods in your workouts is majoring on minor things, in the sense that, like, as long as you do a pretty normal amount and you're not doing too much, you'll be fine. What you need to focus on is your progressive overload, is getting to the gym, is doing something that keeps you interested and gets you there every day, and giving it your utmost effort. That is way more important than getting perfect at what the rest periods are. You don't need to major in minor things. And at the end of the day, with all of this, what's most important is getting to the gym and giving your all to something. Especially as a beginner, all you need to do is get there and do something. That's literally the only thing that's important, is getting there and doing something.
Yeah, I feel like once I stopped taking the gym like so seriously, in the sense of like overthinking everything that I'm doing, that's when I started to see like more results.
Yeah.
Like when I first started working out, like I would nitpick absolutely everything I was doing, to the point where I was like just like so consumed by it. When your brain's not so consumed by like the gym and like your physique and everything, I just feel like that's when you see like better results.
I feel like then I'd also be more hard on myself. Like, oh, I had a bad workout.
Yeah.
Like what I wanted was you, so I had a bad workout. Cause I could, and now it's like, if I go and do stuff, I feel like I had a good workout. Like sometimes I'm still like, oh, that was like, I was just not in a good mood. It was shitty. But like, I don't know. Like if I get something done and I like give it my effort, then it was a good workout. And it's like, whatever.
I agree.
But there's not that much crazy things when it comes to setting up a workout.
Yeah, that's why, like, even too, this is so like off topic of what we're saying, but like our podcast used to be so fitness based, but it's like there's only so much you can talk about with fitness, like,
unless you want to like bullshit people.
Yeah, like I'm not here to bullshit you. Like we're giving you like the basics of understanding like what to do. Like there's no need to overcomplicate things, which so many people on TikTok and every other platform do that. But it's just like we realized with our podcast, like we want to be a fitness podcast, but we run out of topics in regards to fitness like pretty quickly. Or like there can be a topic, but we can't talk about it for an hour.
Yeah. And it's also the fact that this podcast is for people that like the gym, but like it's like for like the college girl that just wants to go to the gym. You don't need some crazy stats and crazy info and optimal whatever. Like you're just trying to get to the gym and like put on some muscle. Like it's not that fucking serious. You don't need like a whole kinesiology textbook full of information to learn how to go to the gym.
Yeah, especially with anything, literally anything in this world, the more you'll learn is through experience.
100%.
So like if you just get yourself into the gym and learn what you like, what you don't like, learn the form of things, record yourself, like look back on it, like the more experience you get, the more you'll learn. So if you're like in any way scared as a newbie, like about like approaching something, like the only way you're gonna get better at it is actually doing it. So just put yourself into that environment, do it, learn from it, and that's how you'll learn. You're gonna learn way more than reading a textbook.
Yeah.
So
That part.
anyways.
Yeah, like I learned literally nothing in my CBT.
Yeah, no, literally the CBT was so like
Stupid.
yeah, like okay.
Like nothing valuable. But I feel like that's like everything. Like no one, like yeah, you're saying like no one learns things from a course. Even this, like I didn't look up we didn't look up like how to podcast. Just fucking do it.
Yeah.
That's the same thing. Like even if like you like to work out in a way that's not what we said, that's okay too, as long as you're not like gonna hurt yourself. Like if you don't want to set up a workout like that in the gym and like you'd rather like do like the stuff when we're like doing like sled pushes and like doing things like that, then do that.
Yeah, like the gym is supposed to be fun.
It's like not that fucking serious. Like you can do anything you want. Obviously we're gonna guide you in the direction of like most results, least amount of work, I feel like is what we kind of are trying to teach you. Like because when I go to something, like I went to a boot camp class with my sister, that shit was fucking hard as hell for like not much result. Like yeah, you're gonna get results, you're gonna get more in shape, but like you're not gonna literally get stronger like pound of weight. It's not ideal for hypertrophy. And that was fucking hard for like not that much physical body benefit. So I'm like, obviously we're trying to guide you in like this is how to get the most amount of results in an hour in the gym. But if you would rather do something else because that's more fun to you, fucking I don't care.
Yeah.
Do whatever the fuck you want.
I agree.
But like some shit is way harder and it's not even worth it.
Mm-hmm.
The boot camp class was fucking hard.
I'm hungry.
But anyways, I'm kind of hungry too. What are you gonna have? Are you gonna have lunch?
Yeah, it's basically lunchtime.
I don't know what I'm gonna have.
Tacos, baby.
I might go to HEB.
I make tacos every single fucking day.
You do.
My dad was like, damn, girl, like you have tacos literally every day. I just respond back to my dad. I go, tacos a day keeps the doctor away. How they
or
say
I
with
could have a
apples.
snack and then go to Trader Joe's.
Well, do you need to go to HEB anyway?
No, I need to go to Trader. I like
Because
Trader
there's
Joe's.
certain things that I like at HEB. I'm like, so I like to do both anyway.
No, I like Trader Joe's.
Yeah, then do it. Then do.
Yeah,
Trader
I'm
Joe's.
gonna have a snack and then I'm gonna go to Trader Joe's.
Do you?
I will,
I'm gonna go and make tacos.
because it's just my world and I can do
Anything
I
you want.
And I'm gonna go to Trader Joe's.
It's your world. We're just living it. Well, no, because I have my own world too. But like,
No, you're just living in
Yeah.
mine. It's my world and everyone's living in it.
you know whose world it is and who's living in it? It's Taylor's world. And can I say his name?
Oh my god, you have someone commented on his Instagram picture.
I know. I go, it's Taylor's world and Taylor's boyfriend's just living in it.
Literally. He doesn't know that though.
Yeah, he doesn't know that.
Until
Also,
this weekend. when
dude,
we get in
we're
a
so
fight.
delusional and I fucking love it.
About what?
Just everything. It's just so funny. Like
100%.
when we talk about boys, we're like, oh my god, he's definitely like doing this, or oh my god, like definitely that, definitely that.
No, I'm like so like I'm like really like a simp right now, and I just like can't, like I'm like more of the simp in this like relationship, and oh my god, like wait, like the camera's running out of space, so this YouTube is gonna stop.